welcome to yet another episode of the Economic Times Cutting Chai Stories, a series of conversations with CXOs and business leaders over chai or coffee, if that's your preference, brought to you by ETH. The urgency and pressure on business leaders as they navigated successive waves of the COVID-19 pandemic was immense, to say the least. These business leaders had to dynamically monitor myriad ways to ensure that their respective companies stayed on course in the new normal. The incredible demands placed on them makes us often wonder how they had time for family, hobbies, or any downtime for that matter at a personal level. And let's not forget that they are mere mortals. This initiative by ETH is aimed at creating a deeper connection with them by getting a glimpse into their personal and professional journey thus far, finding out what makes them tick, understand their views on life and leadership, and also get a sense of what they do to unwind and recharge when they are not in business mode. It is said that one conversation can change the direction of life forever. It is also said that there is nothing better than a cup of tea to get you going. So grab your cup of tea and join me, Ivan Rodrigues, for a very exciting Cutting Chai conversation. Today, it's my pleasure to host Shailender Kumar, Managing Director at Oracle India Private Limited. Shailender, welcome to the Economic Times Cutting Chai Stories. Let's start at the very beginning. If you were to go back to the early years of your childhood, school, or later college, could you share with us any positive influences or incidents that contributed towards shaping your foundation in those formative years?
Very, very pertinent, Ivan. In fact, when I got into the business school, my idea was to specialize in HR.
Okay.
And I thought that is the best way forward. But during the college, our marketing professor had big influence on us. The kind of stories he shared, the kind of case studies he brought up, the way he himself planned and structured his career, that was a big influence.
Okay.
And in fact, midway through the course, we decided, in fact, three of us, all three had decided that when we entered that we are going to be HR specialists. But midway into the course, we decided, no, we are going to be marketing specialists. And that's how we started planning our career, planning our jobs. And last 30 years is history now.
Yes. Wonderful. So you actually changed course because of the influence of one gentleman.
One professor, yeah.
Unbelievable. But that's the impact that somebody can have on your life. That's amazing.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. You work in a technology company. Your background, I remember reading on you. I think you started off by making cold calls in Microsoft.
That's
so
correct.
I can see that you're a salesperson at heart. But coming to the IT domain, I have a question for you. Quite often, people working in the information technology space are often perceived to be highly technical in their approach. At least that's the perception from outside. My question to you is this, Shailender. How important, according to you, are people's skills when it comes to those who work in the technology space, or for that matter, any space?
So when I see technical teams, they are fully focused on writing codes, developing IP or architecture, writing a new software release or a new product release, doing project delivery, doing bug fixes, doing proof of concepts, building pilots.
Right.
But that said, people skills are a vital characteristic even for individuals working in the technical domain or in IT domain. Because more often than not, it is also a team job.
Right.
It requires a leader to be able to get a team who can work together. It's someone who can provide the direction, mobile resources, be able to manage team conflicts, and help make every team member successful.
Right.
So he or she has to be the anchor in order for the team to succeed, in order for project to be delivered timely, and the objective to be met very, very successfully.
Nice, nice. Wonderfully summed up, very articulate. And I think, whoever's going to watch this, there's an important takeaway there. Thank you. Thank you for your response.
Thank you.
I want to touch upon the aspect of creative thinking, and I will solicit your views on the same. It is said that creative thinking is the lifeblood of any organization. How do you encourage it within your organization to keep the new ideas coming?
And Ivan, thanks for this question, because I also fully believe that creative thinking is the lifeblood of any organization, and more so for a technology organization, for an IT organization.
Okay.
So few things that I do. Number one is allowing team members to make mistakes. Tolerate mistakes and let them know it's okay.
Yes.
In other words, what we encourage is try fast, fail fast, and move on.
Yes.
Certainly challenge the way the team works and ask them more and more questions, the thinking behind what they are doing, and the intention to deliver the end results.
Right.
I also stress the importance of creativity for the business. So that not only the team, but every individual takes time for newer ideas.
Right.
The next thing is reward and acknowledge creativity and acting on it. It's not that just the lip service, acknowledging creativity and rewarding them. And that really helps in terms of growing trust. And finally, to be supportive of whatever the initiative is, the once it has got discussed, everyone agrees, yes, we are going to go after it.
Yes.
Be fully supportive about it.
Right. I like your words. Try fast, fail fast, and move fast. I mean, that's the point. The point is, don't ponder about what happened. You failed, acknowledge it, move on. That's life for us.
Exactly.
Great. Shailender, you touched upon this in your previous response, and you talked about leaders and you talked about conflicts. So my question for you is, how do you keep your team motivated despite all the conflicts, obstacle, and competition that might exist amongst team members? How it's a tough job. How do you keep them motivated and on the path?
And this is a day-to-day responsibility.
Yeah.
So some points here. First of all, transparency, accountability, camaraderie, collaboration, and even empathy. To me, these are very important tenets of a successful team, and very important for a leader to believe in these tenets.
Right.
And in order to be successful, it's important that they're all ready, that everyone within the team is ready to be a risk taker.
Yes.
I help create opportunities, but at the same time, define boundaries, challenge the team to develop new skills, entrust new responsibilities, and of course, based on merit, and also letting them operate autonomously, which is very important, giving them the freedom, whatever they want to do within the boundaries. We need to also look to create an environment that does not punish failure, which we just discussed, but promotes trial and error. Speed of innovation is quick now. You don't have time to learn and adapt. It has to be quick, and it has to be now. The way market is doing, you want whatever is supposed to be done tomorrow, deliver it today. So it has to be innovation, it has to be speed, and let's try to do it now.
Amazing. Amazing. I think you're giving us a mini masterclass on various aspects of leadership, of team buildings, of conflict resolution. I really, really, and I'm not saying this to flatter you, I really find depth in all your answers, and I'm really enjoying this conversation, Shailender.
And actually, Ivan, these answers have been prepared over the last 30 years.
Right.
Having done so many projects,
Yes.
having done so many years or so many quarters of delivering revenues, targets, what are the things that work or
Right.
will be close to working in any situation.
Right. Right. Well, all I can say is thank you for sharing very, very succinctly the 30 years of experience with us. It's going to take about 25 minutes overall. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
My next question. Whether we like it, each individual has something that is referred to as a moral compass. That moral compass, at a certain stage in life, say when we were in school or college, could have been X. In our mid-20s or 30s could be Y. And it evolves over time with our experiences in life. So my question is thus, what is your moral compass, Shailender, when it comes to conducting yourself in the personal and professional space?
Okay, personal and professional both. So I will few things again, which we learned professionally, but use it in the personal life also very, very frequently.
Okay.
And this is all about, if you ask me, 4 things. And these are the 4 things I embraced, though learned more on the professional side, but implemented on the personal side as well. And 4 very, very simple words that can really shape anyone's career, anyone's life. The first one is about attitude.
Okay.
And attitude, again, is a very simple word, but it takes years and years to understand the meaning of attitude. How do you have a positive attitude in any kind of circumstance, whether it's positive or whether it's professional or personal? How do you have a positive attitude when the things are not going your way? How do you start thinking? How do you influence that thinking? Then second point is all about transparency.
Okay.
You can't be thinking something, but saying something different. Your articulation has to go very much in what your brain is thinking. It has to be absolutely transparent. The third thing I would say is all about ownership, which is a very important point, again, in personal or a professional space. And fourth, which really matters, is the outcome. Whatever discussions you are having, projects you are doing, whatever you are discussing, what are the outcome of that discussion or that project? And that outcome influences so many things. That could be your next project, your next discussion, could be your next day itself.
Right. Amazing. Nothing to add. I will just leave the answer as is for people to savor it when they watch it. I'm going to ask you this question, and this is about risk. While life is driven, and you touched upon failures at a point in time, and we see the rosy picture of revenues and growth and X, Y, Z, all of us at some point in our life take some risk or the other. My question for you is, what is the most important risk you took and why? And was it worth it?
I told you about the professor influencing us
Yes.
to get into marketing.
Yes.
But prior to that, I started my career as a hardware engineer. I was a maintenance engineer.
Okay.
And then in many discussions, I started thinking that I have to go for higher studies. I need to do my MBA.
Right.
But then my seniors in the organization, they said, you are very good technically. You are doing such a good thing. So rather than thinking about MBA, why don't you think about doing MTech or MS?
Okay.
And it took me a lot of time that what exactly do I intend to do? I consulted a lot of people. But then, okay, I said, let me take some risk. and go for MBA. Because I have done my engineering. Tomorrow, if I have to build up technically on it, I should be able to do it reading few books. If not, I will take some trainings. But MBA is something that is going to add many, many new things to my life. That was when I started. As I said, there were a lot of risks. There were a lot of questions in my mind. Then I said, "Oh, HR is the best way to go." But finally, I did my my MBA in marketing with a specialization in marketing.
Okay.
And again, with God's grace, with all the guidance from the professors and my seniors, my managers, things worked out quite well.
Wonderful. Wonderful. You've touched upon the next question that I'm going to ask in some form or the other in the previous responses, but I'm still going to ask you this question. And this is especially for young leaders. What advice would you give someone going into a leadership position for the first time?
So first thing about attitude, which I spoke in my earlier response.
Right.
And this is again, our professor spoke at some point of time, your attitude decides your altitude. Again, you hear these kind of sentences, but for you to absorb, imbibe, and think about them takes years and years. So the biggest thing is have the right attitude.
Right. Right.
Your success will depend on how fast you can align organizational goals with individual goals.
True.
Not everyone is here for a job. Most of the people are here for careers. Join any organization. It's not that I have a job and that's all. People think right from the day one, I'm here as a trainee. Tomorrow, I'm going to be an individual contributor. 5 years from now, assistant manager to vice president. So align organization goals with individual goals, help them to build their career. That will be really, really good. And when we talk about aligning organization goals with individual goals, again, everyone needs to have a separate plan.
Yes.
As long as you are transparent with them, as long as they see sincerity in your working with them, they will be all for you. There is a very, very interesting saying, and again, you may have heard that people join organization, but they leave managers.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So if you are sincere to their career, if you are sincere in terms of supporting them in their initiatives, in their endeavors, you will be absolutely successful.
So well put. So well put. Okay. Let's change track a little bit. Let's move to India, India Inc. While our country has taken giant strides in every field, you can name it, and successfully so, what is the one area that you would like India Inc. to do even better?
But before that, a bit of thing which I was told when I started my career in early 90s, I was told this is the best time to be part of the corporate world.
Okay.
And having worked for 3 decades, I think this is the time to be part of the corporate world. This is the time to be in IT and technology. The way we have progressed, and we have progressed such a great deal in many different ways. What's needed perhaps is a collective might of government and industry to come together and speed up how new and emerging technologies can be introduced. And they need to be introduced to substantially improve how business is conducted in India, help grow the economy, and add value to the global development. If you see, we are already the best IT talent hub in the world. Right. And so much more we can do. The kind of progress we have done. In fact, you may have heard about the latest budget that was presented by our Honorable Finance Minister. When you start talking about cryptocurrency, when you start talking about projects like Gati Shakti, basically all the logistics getting together, when you talk about central bank acting on digital currency, we are on the right track. we are on the right track. It's all about how fast we can work on it and how fast we can take the benefits of implementing technology for the benefit of masses. So I would say more technologies, government and corporates working together, coming fast to ensure that we are able to grow the economy and add value to the global development.
Wonderful. Wonderful. A personal question. How do you unwind, Shailender? Any interests, hobbies, or activities that you indulge in? And as a follow-up, is there any item on your bucket list that is yet to be fulfilled?
So my interest, hobbies are just two things. One is movies,
Okay.
Bollywood or Hollywood, and second is sports. I love watching cricket. I love watching football, hockey, whenever possibility, or tennis. So these
Okay.
are two things. One thing on my bucket, and someday I will do it, though I have been thinking for years and years, I need to learn cooking.
Ah,
I'm very, very bad at it, very bad. But someday I need to start learning it and see to it that my family is happy with my cooking.
oh, wow. I will wait for that day. We must touch base when you do that. From your answer about the bucket list item, that is something that you would like to do. It seems that you're a foodie then. You have a passion for food.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
So
And
if you sorry, go ahead.
with guys like Zomato, Swiggy around, things become much easier.
Yeah. So I am predicting this, that in the next year or so, because you have the passion for food, you will start and you'll be a hit. That's
I'm
my
looking
prediction.
forward to it. Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, great. Final question in this segment, Shailender, and this is related to technology again. Where do you think Indian organizations stand currently when it comes to developing and onboarding cutting-edge technology?
I would say India is much, much, much ahead compared to some of the countries outside. How we help grow our country is unique to us. Let me quote President Abdul Kalam. India should walk on her own shadow. We must have our own development model rather than blindly copying established models. In fact, we have acquired the confidence in our local strengths. Look at how we embrace digitization for many government services we avail. Or how do we have our payments or our shopping? It's contactless, it's digital. The way NPCI thought about it and implemented the whole UPI.
Yes.
It's such a big game changer. And
Absolutely.
we have opportunity to work with many banks in implementing these projects. And as a powerhouse of innovation with global firms based in India, we are one of them. And in a variety of industries, whether it's manufacturing, global IT services, so many startups, unicorns, decacons, we have achieved great feats in such a short time. In fact, that's why we are touted to be Asia's second largest economy in the next 6 to 8 years.
Sure.
It's truly, truly a great time to be in India and to witness and be part of the growth and the development journey.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I've said this before, I am really enjoying this conversation. So with your permission, I'd like to move on to another segment, Shailender. It's a kind of rapid fire, but it's not rapid. It's a fun round. The objective is to get to know you besides being the managing director of Oracle. So I will throw a set of questions at you, and you can respond if it's obvious from the question itself, whether it requires a one-word answer or a one-line answer. So are you ready for this segment?
Oh, yes, Ivan. Yeah.
Okay, great, wonderful. You're a great sport, I must say. Okay, my first question. How many languages can you speak and can you name them?
Oh, just two, English and Hindi.
Okay, wonderful. What's the best compliment you have ever received?
Best compliment. It's all about ever smiling.
Ah, wonderful. Wonderful. That's very evident. Are your friends completely opposite to you, or are most of them similar to you?
Most of them similar to me.
Okay, wonderful.
Though I believe in diversity and inclusion,
Yes.
but generally you find similar friends sticking together.
Yeah. Birds of a feather flock together.
Flock together, exactly.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Kindly choose one of the two options that I'm going to pose to you. Chocolate or pickle?
Pickle.
Ah, wonderful. Spend time with little kids. Would you spend time with little kids or old people?
Old people.
Okay. Would you rather visit a museum or an amusement park?
Amusement park.
Okay. Rain or sunshine?
Sunshine.
Okay. Chai and biscuit or coffee and muffin?
Chai and biscuit.
Okay.
Very much Indian at heart.
Okay, then I think I have another question for you, but let me ask it anyway, because I think I know the answer to this. Desi Indian breakfast or all English breakfast?
Desi Indian breakfast.
Yeah. What, according to you, is better? Certificates or experience?
Experience.
Nice. Since we talked about food, I'm going to stick to the subject of food and ask you to name 3 all-time favorite food dishes of yours.
So given a chance, the first one is South Indian. I love South Indian a lot. I can have 3 times a day for days and days together.
Really? Any specific South Indian dish?
Any kind of dosa.
Okay. Okay.
Second is Italian. I love Italian, especially the pastas.
Okay.
And third is Chinese.
Ah, lovely. What a diverse choice in terms of cuisine. Wonderful.
No, actually, as we just discussed, I'm certainly a foodie.
Yes.
I love all kind of food.
Yes.
But given a preference, given a choice, this is the way it works out.
Nice. Shailender, could you describe your journey thus far in just 3 words?
It's just started.
Ah, wow. This answer was the highlight of our conversation. You completely, dumbfounded me with the answer. I was not expecting this. It just started. Wonderful.
As I said, when I started my career, we were told this is the best time to be in IT industry.
Yes.
This is the right time you started. And in fact, this is what I was addressing our new team yesterday. I said, you are at the right time, at the right place. The fun has just started.
Yes. Nice. What a wonderful spirit behind that answer. Great. I think I know the answer to the next question, but let me ask you, and you will smile as I ask you this question. I can promise you that. If you were to be stuck in a room for 24 hours, whom would you choose to be stuck with? I'm going to give you 3 options. Kindly choose one. I know there is going to be a tussle between 2 of them. Richard Branson, the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, or Bill Gates?
I will stay with the Modi ji. And I'll tell you the reason for that. I have met all of them. I used to work with Microsoft. I had opportunity to meet up with Bill a few times. As part of our industry discussions, I have met Richard Branson a few times.
Yes.
Our CEO came to India a couple of times, and I had a discussion along with her, with our Prime Minister. The thinking, his thinking, again, coming from grassroots, the way he thinks about issues is absolutely different. He always gives you a viewpoint. And he always helps you to develop a viewpoint, start thinking. It's not that there is a problem you have and you need to address it.
Yes.
Then you're just addressing the symptoms. He will help you to think about what the actual issue is at the ground level. How do you address it for the benefit of everyone? So it's more out of experience, because the kind of time I have spent with all 3, I would certainly like to have more and more time with Prime Minister Modi whenever we have the option.
Sure, sure. I had done some research on you before this conversation, so you know where those names were coming from. Richard Branson, Narendra Modi. Yeah. Okay. Complete the sentence. It's like fill in the blanks. You can use a word or more than one word. I'm most happy when dash, dash, dash.
Happy when? Actually, it's a very, very professional question, because if you ask me, I am the happiest when we deliver a big project, when we have achieved success some way or the other.
Yes, yes. That's fine. It's a wonderful answer.
Either, and same thing is true on the personal life also.
Yes.
Someone in the family achieving something really big, that
Yes.
gives you the biggest success.
Sure.
And a big smile on your face.
Yes. Wonderful, wonderful. The best way to run a corporate meeting is ...
Set the objective and give everyone an opportunity to participate.
Wonderful.
But have a very, very clear outcome once the discussions are over.
Nice. Behind every great man, there is dash.
My God. There could be women or men or many friends.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very nice. Final question, Shailender, in this segment. You said you're a movie buff. So I'm going to ask you this question. If a movie were to be made on your life, which actor would you want to play you?
It's a tough one, because most of the actors today are very action oriented.
Yes.
And they do dance, they run from here or there. Who could be the best one? The nearest I think is Akshay Kumar.
Okay.
But again, debatable. But Akshay Kumar will be the best one.
That's fine. There are no wrong answers in this segment. There are only right answers because these are your answers. You did very well, Shailender. I really enjoyed all the answers in this segment too. Well done.
Thank you, Evan. And I know the kind of research you have done, very, very intelligent questions and very much pertaining to everything I have done in my life. So thanks to you. Kudos to you also.
Not at all. It's been an absolute pleasure. You know, Shailender, listening to you over the last 25 minutes or so, I am reminded of the following quotes. And this is when it comes to you. Henry Ford famously said that coming together is a beginning, staying together is progress, but working together is success. And in your leadership style, I don't know you personally or professionally, I think you echo this quote of his. I see you as that person,
Super.
as a leader there.
In fact, just one more thing you reminded me. Once my father told me many, many years back when I was in school, we used to have dinner at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, because we used to study or do different things. He said, just remember, a family that eats together stays together.
Yes.
And I implemented this in one of the organizations I started working with some 10 years back. So we made a rule that all of us will have lunch together from this time to this time. There will be meetings, there'll be phone calls, there'll be everything. And you won't believe, for 5 years, all of us stayed together and made this organization the best across all the subsidiaries globally.
Amazing. Amazing. Thanks for sharing that. There are a couple of other quotes. I'm not going to let you go there.
Absolutely.
Okay, that you remind me of, and this is I don't know who said this, but it reminds me of you. You learn more from failure than from success. Don't let it stop you. Failure builds character. And when you talked about do fast, fail fast, and then move fast, this quote came to mind. There's another quote by Zig Ziglar, and what he says is that I don't care how much power, brilliance, or energy you have. if you don't harness it and focus it on a specific target and hold it there, you're never going to accomplish as much as your ability warrants, because you talked about having that objective despite everything. So this quote again reminds me of a shade of you. And the last one is by Henry Miller. The real leader has no need to lead. He is content to point the way. And Shailender, Kumar, as Managing Director at Oracle India Private Limited, you encapsulate all these four for me. I had a wonderful time chatting with you. I wish you, your family, and your organization the very best going forward.
Thanks, Ivan. Thank you. It's been such a nice session, talking to you, learning so many things from you. And my promise to you, in the next 1 year, we will certainly meet up. And yes, I owe you something which I will cook personally. Something.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm looking forward to that.
Thank
you. Look forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you.